Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy the Phantom here, coming back at you with another comic book haul. I know it's been a while. Not as big as a gap as I usually do, but here. And I just wanted to firstly say, while I got the video started and it's just starting now, normally I have a different plate stand to display the comics on the last couple of hauls, but I don't know what happened to it. I guess I kind of lost it somewhere, so I have this little Nicky wooden plate stand, and it's making the comics look a little crooked. So, just so you're wondering, it's not you. It's just this little plate stand right here, just making the comics uneven. But I am glad y'all are here with me today to do another comic book haul. I wanted to do a slightly different format. I wanted to first start off with the books that I've been reading, or at least the books that sort of stand out from the ones I've been reading lately, and just get through the haul in general because I do have a lot of books here. So I'm guessing this is probably going to be around another 30-minute video or so. And I also have some special books as well. Something different that's normally in other comic book hauls, and I can't wait to show you guys what those are in the later of the video. And with that being said, I'm going to start us off with Daredevil #4. This is the variant edition. I've been reading the Daredevil books, this new Daredevil series, since issue 1. I thought it was a good refresher to get on Daredevil 1. And quite frankly, the first couple of issues the first issue was really good. And I was able to understand the story and everything that happened in the previous run, even though I never read the previous run. So kudos to the writer on that. And yeah, so it was really good. And this cover in particular, I just really like this cover of Bullseye. I don't think it's a valuable comic or anything like that, but it is a really good cover, and that's just something I really picked up. And I can already see that plate stand starting to move around. So hopefully nothing falls down. Not to jinx myself or anything. This is Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Now this book is really hot for whatever reason. I don't know why it's so hot. I know the writing in the book is excellent. The art is really good, but it's no first appearance. Um, well, if you want to be technical, it's the first appearance of Peter's two kids. If you want to be technical about it, but we already know Peter Parker. We already know Mary Jane. We already know Ben Parker. We already know J. Jonah Jameson, Kingpin, etc. I think this is just nothing but more than a hype book, similar to Hell Arisen 3 and all these other books that came out that people are really sort of gravitates on. They're trying to spec what's the next big book so they can get a quick cash grab. And I honestly got this book off the shelf at cover price because I actually wanted to read it. I heard J.J. Hickman, or whoever his name is a good writer. So I wanted to decide to give it a chance. I really enjoyed the first issue, I'm not going to lie. Can't get over seeing Peter with a beard. That's kind of weird. I wish they would change his look up to look more like the Todd McFarlane's Peter Parker. But I'm not going to complain about it. Whatever, the writing was pretty solid for the first issue. It is an alternate universe and whatnot. So yeah, pretty good book. But honestly, truth be told, I might sell it just to get the profit before the hype dies down. Um, Speaking of hype, here's another hype book. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, issue 1. I bought this also for cover price off the shelf. Before it got hot, I was just looking at the cover. I was like, "Huh, this is a really unique cover." It's all bloody, but at the same time, it's like a children's cartoon or something. So I decided to read it, and I actually did like the first issue, and I have issue 2 as well. I didn't like issue 2 as much as I did issue 1, but issue 1 was really good. And I don't get the hype around this book either, honestly. It's not like they're going to do a movie out of something like this. This is way too cartoonish to make a movie out of, even if they really did want to make like a movie or something out of it. I think at most they would do like a cartoon, sort of like the Invincible cartoon or series or something like that. But yeah, sorry, I'm like having trouble coughing or something. Sorry. So I think this book right now, from the last time I checked, it was going for around $50 to $60 on eBay, I believe. And honestly, I might sell it too. I am not in the hype of indie books. I like to buy indie books when they're at their peak. I don't like to buy, keep books around, just laying around, knowing when I can get a profit off of it and buy an actual book that I want, like an Amazing Spider-Man 194 or something like that. I would rather have that than have, this new book that came off the shelf, like a month or two ago. So yeah, this issue, really good. Second issue I'm not too fond of, but I will continue to read the series. And now I will be moving on to the $2 books. So these are all the $2 books that I've got throughout the past couple of weeks. The first one is Action Comics 835. I've been looking for this book out in the wild for quite a while now, and I finally have it now. This is the first appearance of Livewire in the DC universe. Her first actual appearance, which is Superman Adventures number 5 or something like that, was just a sort of retelling or reimagination of Superman the animated series. It wasn't really a DC continuity sort of appearance. And this one is when she first appears in the DC universe, actually. And, this came in about almost 10 years after her Superman Adventures number 5. So yeah, that's about a 10-year gap, somewhere between a 5 and a 10-year gap. But I've been looking for this book for a while. This book normally goes for about $15 on eBay, so to find it in a $2 bin, I'm really happy about. So, and I will keep this book because I actually like Livewire as a character. Perhaps that's maybe Tank Girl, because I really like Tank Girl's performance as Livewire from Superman the animated series, and this thing is being crooked again. Another $2 bin find, Batman 657. This is the first cover appearance of Damian Wayne. This is normally like a $10 to $15 book on eBay, so honestly I might sell it and just take the profit, I guess. Yeah, if I ever decide to keep it, then I guess I'll decide to keep it whenever it ends. I know Damian Wayne is supposed to be in the Brave and the Bold movie, according to James Gunn, so maybe it's something I should probably keep. But it is what it is. This is Daredevil issue 46. Nothing special about this book at all. I just really like the cover. That's all. Sometimes I'll go and frugally spend my money unwillingly towards good covers. Sometimes I will do that. And this was the time that I decided to do that because, just look at the cover. It's a really good cover. Nice pose, nice figure and whatnot. No, I am not sexist. No, don't think that. I just like the artwork. I like to appreciate artwork. Another $2 bin find. This is Web of Spider-Man 118. This is the first appearance of the Spider clone, I believe. Honestly, I haven't even checked if this is a first or second print. I don't know how to tell the difference between the two. Maybe I'll look at the inside cover. But I think the first and second print go for over $20 on eBay. So to find this in a $2 bin is pretty okay. I'll probably end up selling this book because, I'm not really a fan of the Spider clone to begin with. I'd rather put that capital gain towards a book that I actually want. And just, take the book that I actually want. The thing about having 90s books is most of them are high in print, and really most of them are worthless. There are some books that from the 90s that I would keep, like a New Mutants 98. I would definitely keep that only because I like Deadpool as a character. And that book is pretty expensive, so getting it for the price that I got it, almost 10 years ago is kind of impossible. So yeah, Web Spider-Man 118. Do I have any more $2 bins? Oh yes, a couple more $2 bins. Amazing Spider-Man 373. I'm surprised this book isn't worth as much. I'm surprised this book isn't more expensive. I mean, this is a really good cover. Another binge cover that I bought. I swear I would have so many more keys if I stopped buying these little issues, but I can't help it. I just can't help it. I think this cover is a really great cover. I'm surprised this book isn't more expensive than, a couple of dollars, and that thing is moving again. That's getting on my nerves. What else do we have here? We have Amazing Spider-Man 400. This is the variant. I'll move this over in case it falls. This is the Death of Aunt May. Another $2 bin find. The blank covers of this book normally are cheap, but since this is the variant, this is the Greystone variant where Spider-Man's actually on there and you can see everything. I think this is normally about a $15 to $25 book, depending on the condition of the book. So to find this for $2, really good. I might end up keeping this because I want to fill in the Amazing Spider-Man run from 400 all the way down to 1 if I have the pleasure of getting a 1 issue 1, whether that's in regular issue 1 or Golden Record reprint copy of issue 1. Still think issue 1 is overpriced, but I still want it. So yeah. My goal is to collect 400 through 1 to 400. I don't want to really necessarily bother collecting 401 to 700 because most of those issues are really just, one-off issues. They're most likely storytelling issues and whatnot. Going from 1 to 400 keeps the collection small, and it keeps it still filled with issues that you actually, enjoy and collect, and great covers, great stories and whatnot, because it goes from Stan Lee to Steve Ditko to Mark Bagley, and I forgot whoever wrote the book when Mark Bagley was there. So yeah, Death of the Family, Death of Aunt May. Okay, what else do we have here? Let's see. Graded book here. This is Swamp Thing. Okay. I knew something like that would happen. I think it's good now. This is Swamp Thing issue 3. This is the first appearance of Abigail Arcane and the first appearance of the Patchwork Man. And this one is signed by Bernie Wrightson. Well, it's a verified signature for CBCS. This is not the witnessed CGC signature, so it's not going to be quite as valuable. But I trust Biquette, I guess, in their verification program. I've heard great reviews from them. I also have heard iffy reviews from them about verifying forged signatures, but hey, I'll take it, whatever. I've been looking for this book, and I only paid like $70 for it. So to get a graded early Swamp Thing, Bernie Wrightson, potentially signed by Bernie Wrightson, but it's got the verification signature on it, I am happy about that. I'm never going to take that away. I am happy about it, and I've been reading Swamp Thing lately. Honestly, I have read the Lean Ween and Bernie Wrightson solo series. Currently, I'm on Alan Moore's run of Swamp Thing, and I really enjoy it. I like Alan Moore's writing more, but I like Bernie Wrightson's art more from the first series, and I like the art from the Alan Moore version. So, yeah, that's a pretty good issue. I'm glad to have that. What do we have here? We have another graded book. This is Space Detective, issue 3. Nothing special about this book. It's a Golden Age book with a really good cover, really hot chick on the front cover, if I may say so. Again, not trying to sound like I'm sexist or anything. Just appreciate the artwork, and it's, it is what it is. One thing about collecting Golden Age books that I've noticed in my short time of collecting Golden Age books is whenever you take a Golden Age book to a Comic Con or something like that to trade to a vendor or dealer, they are more likely to trade for any book that you want with a Golden Age book than any other book. I'm going to show you an example. I sent in a first appearance of Shang-Chi, a first appearance of the Black Costume, a first origin of the Black Costume, a first appearance of Hobgoblin, and a first appearance of the new Teen Titans. I sent all those books in or at least I gave all those books in to a vendor so I can potentially trade towards trading credit for a House of Secrets 92. And I thought, maybe if I can get like, $200-300 for those books, I can knock that off and get a House of Secrets 92. But he wasn't really adamant about trading for those books because he had plenty of those books. But the moment I showed him this book, he was like, "Oh, I really like that book. I'll if you give me this book, I'll do $300 trading credit and then give you the House of Secrets 92 for 800 for the rest remaining 800 or 500 or whatever he wanted for it. I forgot." And I was like, it was slightly over my budget because I wanted to stay at the 500 range, and he wanted to get this book as trading credit, and then he wanted to have me pay $650. I think it was $650 for the remaining amount, and I was like, no, 500 is my budget. I'm sticking to it. Whatever. But he just kept on asking me. He was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? I really like this book and everything. And I really would like to have it." And then it was only after like a couple of minutes, he was like, "Okay, tell me what you think all the other books are worth, and I'll consider, trading this book plus the other books for the House of Secrets 92. I didn't end up going through with that deal because I bought a few other things. But that really just goes to show you how valuable to these other guys, to these vendors, how valuable Golden Age books are. Because a lot of these vendors are in their older ages. They remember, books like these were on the shelf when they were young, as opposed to, the Swamp Thing that I showed you, the 1970s. This came out in 1952. So yeah, a lot of the older guys who were, born in the 40s and in the early 50s, they remember stuff like this being on the shelf, and that's something that they enjoy because they value Golden Age books more than Silver Age. To them, Silver Age is a hot commodity, but at the same time, it's overly printed. Whereas Golden Age, there's few and far between. What do we have here? A copy of Witch's Tales issue number 6. I really like, this is a Golden Age book as well. I really like the cover. That's about it. Nothing too special about the book. It's just a pre-code horror cover. And I think that's technically a bondage cover as well. Now, I really want issue 8 and issue 12, I believe. I believe those are the best ones. Issue 8 is the one with the Grim Reaper, and I believe it was either 11 or 12 is the one with the spider and the girl on the spider. Those covers are really much better than this one, but I really like this one as well. Plus, it's a low-grade copy, so it was pretty affordable. I might send this in to get graded, and then next thing you know, I'll probably bring this into a con along with the other Golden Age books that I have and see if I can get a trade for one big issue, because like I said, these vendors, they like Golden Age more than they like anything else. So if I'm a collector, if I'm in your shoes and you see a Golden Age books for rare Golden Age books for good prices, get them, because you pay $200. For example, if you pay $200, pay the $25 to $50 to get it graded, and you could potentially walk out with double the value from what you paid for it, and you send that in to get traded. I mean, you trade it towards a vendor at a Comic-Con, they're going to be more willing to work with you than any other era of comic books. Something like this, I could probably get like $250 to $300 worth of trading credit after I get this thing graded. Right now, as it stands, it's probably like $180, $200 in trading credit. But once I get it graded, it'll probably be worth a lot more. and traded credit. And with the other two books that I have, I can probably get my House of Secrets 91, 92 just by mostly trading credit and a little bit of cash or something like that. So yeah, Witch's Tales number 6, good cover. Might send that in to get graded. What else do we have here? New Teen Titans issue 23. This is the first appearance of Blackfire. Nothing too special. I just really like Blackfire in the animated series, the Teen Titans animated series. And this is just a book that I really wanted to sort of have in my box there, where I keep my key issues less than 50, worth less than $100. So yeah, pretty good book. What else do we have here? This is Avengers 67. This is a low grade copy. This is the first cover appearance of Ultron. Still don't have an issue 55. That's okay. I'm not in a rush to get it. If it happens, it happens. But this is I just saw this book really, and I got I would say a pretty decent deal on it, and I just decided to pick it up because it was, in hand. If I had just saw it while scrolling through eBay or something, it would have been a different topic. But yeah, this is just something that I just decided to pick up. I'm just going to take a break from the comic books and show you the two special things that I got during this time period. So Beckett decided they were going to start grading manga recently, and for the longest time I've always wanted to start collecting manga. My all-time key issue for manga would definitely be Weekly Shonen Jump 51, which is the first Dragon Ball Z chapter, and that's a really expensive book, even among Japanese people. Not quite at that yet right now, but I did start collecting a few issues, and one of the first issues that I picked up this time around is a copy of Weekly Shonen Jump issue 1 of the 2019 series. And this is the first sort of chapter, or you want to call it the first appearance of the Chainsaw Man. To those of you who watch anime, Chainsaw Man, one of the best animes of 2023. Probably one of the best animes in the last 10 years. And I really love this run. And the difference between anime or medium or movies or TV shows based on anime and movies and TV shows based on comic books. With anime, it's followed directly from the comic books. There is very few instances where an anime does not follow the manga to a T. There are some instances where they don't, like Dragon Ball Z. I know they used a lot of filler in that show to separate the arcs. And there's a couple of other anime that I won't sort of mention that did dry away from the manga a little bit, just for some purpose. I don't know why, but there are some really good and expensive key issues that come among manga. This one, to name one, the first appearance of Naruto, first appearance of Dragon Ball Z, first appearance of Yu-Gi-Oh! First appearance of One Piece is a really big one. I think that's like a $2,000 or $3,000 book, even though it came out in 1997. But yeah, this is one of my favorite animes of last year, and I'm so happy to have the Weekly Shonen Jump version of it, which is the original Japanese version of it. I'm really happy to have this, and I'm really happy to start collecting manga. And I also put it in these. If you're starting to collect Weekly Shonen Jump issue or any sort of manga, I would recommend getting a magazine bag and board and wrapping it in that, because these things are flimsy. I mean, the Weekly Shonen Jump issues in particular are very flimsy. The paper quality is worse than Golden Age issues, I would say, at least. And this one right here, another manga This is a manga called Young Ace Magazine, issue number 58. And this is the first appearance of Ryoko. Oh my goodness, I'm learning the Japanese language and I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Ryoku Mat, oh my goodness, Ryoku Matoi. This, in other words, it's the first Kill la Kill chapter, Ryoku Matoi. And this is one of my favorite animes of all time. I know a lot of people will say there's a lot of fan service in it, and I don't care. The story is really good, surprisingly, for the fan service. The low amount of fan service it has, the voice acting in the English and the sub is really good. And if I say the voice acting in the English version is good, then you know that it's good, because majority of the English dubs I have watched throughout my life in terms of anime have been god awful. And this show is an exception. This show is really good. The one thing I did notice different between the show and the manga is that in the show, they make the characters look a lot older than what they actually are. In the manga, in the actual series, they're only 17. They're only in their teenage years. And in the manga, they make them look a little bit more childish or teenagerish. Whereas in the anime, they make them look a lot older than what they actually are, which I'm fine with it. I mean, I really don't care. But yeah, Kill la Kill is one of my all-time favorite animes, and I'm glad to have this book because this book is really rare, or at least it's rare in the United States, because I know not everybody on eBay, every person that lives in Japan on eBay is willing to ship to the United States. So this was the only copy on eBay, and I got it. So I have still yet to see any more copies of this book listed on eBay. So I'm just going to assume that I've gotten the last copy in a while on eBay, and I'm happy about it. I mean, this is a character that I've watched growing up, and I actually just rewatched the series not too long ago, and it still holds up today as it did back then. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about collecting manga. I really am. You know, it takes me out of my comfort zone. It's something that's different to hunt down. And with all the speculation that CGC might join Biquette in terms of manga grading, it probably might not be a bad idea to pick up a few manga key issues and whatnot. Now, I don't know if they're going to start grading manga this size because this is really big. I mean, just look at how thick and beefy this thing is. I mean, this is like a freaking phone book or something. But here's Ryoku Matoi right here on the cover, all the way in the top left-hand corner. This is her first appearance. But yeah, I really hope they start to grade this size manga, but I doubt it because I doubt that the case that they make for these books would be good for what the size that they are. But I'm really happy to start collecting manga and whatnot. So yeah, those are the two manga issues that I've got so far, and I plan on collecting even more to build a collection. And what do we have here? We have Amazing Spider-Man number 121. I've been trying to get this book forever. And I saw this was one of the books that I got at the Comic-Con rather than getting the House of Secrets 92. I probably did bad by not getting that House of Secrets 92, but at the same time, that House of Secrets 92 had a big like factory defect. The green paint that was used to put the green logo at the top that had the House of Secrets logo at the top, it smudged throughout the bottom and the bottom and the top portion of the cover. So it was like 1/10 of the cover was green, like shaded green or something like that, and it really looked really, really off. So I just decided to take my, plus, you know, with the trade in, the difficult guy being traded on trading in, I decided just to take my business elsewhere, so to speak. And I got this guy who gave me a deal on this book and the Witch's Tales book, and a couple of other books as well. He gave me a bundle deal and whatnot. He was willing, he wanted to trade for the Space Detective comic as well. but I wasn't able to find something that I was willing to trade for it, so it's fine. So yeah, I've been looking for this book forever. I'm glad I have it in my collection now. This was actually a graded book. It was a CGC 5.0, but I decided to unslab it. Because truth be told, when it comes to books like this, I really don't want to keep them in a slab, unless they're signed or really, really, really low grade to preserve it. Because if the book is not worth more than, $2,000, why have it graded to begin with? I mean, just why? Unless it's really low grade, of course. Because I would rather just put this in a box, and have it just, sit there in a run than have it graded. There are some books that I will put in an exception to that. Right now, I have a Crow #1, which I would really want to get graded, but I still don't trust CBCS to submit to them yet. And a few other books, but for a book like this, I don't see it's only worth like a couple $100. I mean, there's no purpose in keeping it in a slab when slabs just take up way more space than a short box. But yeah, I'm happy to have this. The Death of Gwen Stacy, very influential book in comic book history. Now I want the ASM number 31, which is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy. I still don't have that yet. And then I will get that sooner or later. But yeah, really happy to have this book. On to the last couple books. Oh man, we're already at the 30-minute mark. I better hurry up a little bit. We got a copy of Tomb Raider, issue 50. This is the Adam Hughes cover. Nothing to say about this book. I really like the cover for this book, and I never had a Tomb Raider comic before. I love playing Tomb Raider games. If you're a gamer, the Tomb Raider games are fire, especially the last one they did, the last trilogy they did. They were really good gameplay wise and story wise. So yeah, really good cover. Adam Hughes is really good at drawing anatomy, so much better than J. Scott Campbell. But that's just my opinion. What do we have here? X-Men number 239. This is the first cover appearance of Mr. Sinister. Not too much of a valuable book. I've been trying to get into X-Men collecting lately, a little bit more than I have been. So yeah, I've just been collecting issues here and there. They've been mostly 90s direct versions. I have to have the direct. The direct is very important to me, but that Spider-Man logo there, it's very important to me. So yeah, Mr. Sinister is an okay villain to me. Nothing too much. I just really wanted to, start collecting X-Men stuff. What do we have here? Swamp Thing number 9. The good thing about this issue, is that it is a Mark Jewelers variant. I didn't even know this. I'm pretty sure the comic book shop I bought it from didn't even know this either, because they had it priced at $20, which is generally around fair market value for this book. And I got home and opened it. I was feeling on it. I was like, why is this thing so sturdy? And why does it feel thicker? I know these books were printed. I know these books only had about 20 interior pages in them, I believe. They have 20 pages of story in them, which is very thin for a comic book. So I was like, why does this thing feel so thick? And then I see the blue mark. I look at the top and I see the blue mark. I don't know if you could see it on here, but it's like a little thin blue line. And at that point, I'm like, is this a Mark Jewelers variant? And then I open it up, and then next thing you know, it's a Mark Jewelers variant. So honestly, I don't know what to do with this book, because I tried searching on eBay. My Comic Shop, and a few other comic book resources. I've tried looking at the online price guides of this book, and there's nothing on Mark Jewelers variants of Swamp Thing. Because with the Mark Jewelers variants, they're known mostly for their being in Marvel books. I don't think a lot of people knew they were in DC books. I didn't even know they were in DC books until now. But yeah, I can't find anything on this book. I was gonna, because I honestly don't care about having Mark Jewelers variants, to be honest. And if I can just sell this book at a higher price and then get a regular version of this book for another $20, I'm more than happy with doing that. But I might end up sending this book to get graded and then put it on auction and see if it sells at a good price. But at the same time, I don't know if anybody would be willing to buy it, because I know with the CGC scandal going on right now with all the fraudulent Mark Jewelers variants, it's kind of like, do people trust CGC cases right now? But yeah, classic cover by Bernie Wrightson. Happy to have this and a Mark Jewelers variant. So all in all, a good thing. No more Swamp Thing. One more issue, issue 10. This is the last Bernie Wrightson issue that he did on Swamp Thing, and that cover is gorgeous. The Mylar really makes it pop as well. The Mylite really does make it, this issue pop, and you could tell it's a 20 page interior because this thing is flimsing around. It doesn't, the other issue wasn't really flimsing around like that in there, whereas this one was. But this is a great issue as well. Still like the Alan Moore one more, though. On to some Detective Comics. This is Batman 412, a really high grade copy. Nothing significant about this book. It's just a Neal Adams cover, and I really like this cover. Neal Adams, all-time favorite Batman artist. I wish he drew the gray and black, the black and gray Batman rather than the gray and blue and yellow Batman. I would love to see how Neal Adams did with the more modern Batman costume with the black and gray, like the Jim Lee version. But still, all in all, my favorite Batman artist. His Gothic sense when it came to Batman was really good, and his gray tone covers, his painted covers, etc. They were just very exceptional, very awesome. And I've been trying to fill in the Detective Comics run. I'm trying to collect issue 400 through 434, I believe. So it goes from Man-Bat to League of Assassins to Talia al Ghul to all the Neal Adams covers that he did during that detective run, to issue 434 or something like that. When the DC logo changes to the sport logo or something like that, the varsity logo or whatever they call it. Those are the issues of Detective Comics I want to start collecting. And based on the last comic book hauls that I've been doing, it's already going well, because I've been finding a decent amount of them in high grade, and this is another high grade copy, and I really love this cover. And last but not least, as you see in the thumbnail, probably, this is a copy of Batman 251, I believe, or Batman 241, excuse me. This is just a classic cover, really good cover that I really enjoy. Nothing to say about this. I don't think Neal Adams did that. That does not look like Neal Adams' Batman face to me. But it's a really cool cover. Cover doesn't really make sense when you think about it prospectively, because Batman's flying. He's not using his grapple gun. He's just flying, and somehow he's over buildings or whatnot. But it is what it is. Really good cover. Nothing more to say about this. I already know I'm cutting it too long with the video right now. It's almost 40 minutes long. But I hope you enjoyed the haul, guys, and listen to me fumbling my words and fumbling my mouth. I'm not used to speaking a lot. That's probably why my voice sounds always so deep in these videos, because I'm not used to speaking for long periods of time like I am during these comic book hauls. So yeah, if you were able to manage your way all the way through this video, go ahead and leave a like and a comment in the description. But until then, till the next video, it's been your boy Phantom, and I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your week, and I hope y'all had a happy new year as well.